What if I told you that the next chapter of your life has already been written in gold? Capricorn, listen closely, because something very rare is happening in your life. A change is coming that is going to leave people speechless, especially the ones who thought they had you all figured out. This isn't just some blessing you stumbled into. This is not luck. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine transfer, one that was planned in heaven long before you even asked for it. Your family, they won't believe it at first. They won't know how to process it, because they didn't see the seeds you planted in secret. They didn't hear the prayers you whispered at night. They didn't feel the weight you carried when you smiled through pain. But heaven did. And now, something sacred is unfolding. Something powerful. Something wealthy. You've waited long enough. You've been faithful long enough. Now the vault is opening, and the name written on it is yours. This isn't just about money. This is about restoration. This is about rebuilding what was broken. It's about God placing something in your hands that generations before you prayed for but never received. Now, it's your turn. You're not just about to receive resources, you're about to receive responsibility. Because this transfer isn't just for you, it's for your children's children. It's for every battle you fought in silence, every door that closed in your face, every moment you felt forgotten. Capricorn, heaven has signed the check. The spiritual transaction is complete. Now it's about to show up in the physical. And here's what I want you to do right now. Go to the comments and type these 5 words. I receive heaven's transfer. Say it as a declaration. Say it like you believe it. Let your faith speak louder than your fear. Because this is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to get ready. Because by the time we reach the final chapter of this message, you'll understand something powerful. You'll understand why it had to happen to you. Why it's going to shock the people closest to you, and why it's going to change your life forever. Stay with me, Capricorn. You were born for this moment. They never saw this coming. Capricorn, let's speak the truth. You were never the loudest in the room. You were never the one trying to prove something. You stayed in your lane, focused on your goals, moving in silence while others made noise. But because you didn't fit into their idea of success, they overlooked you. They thought your quiet spirit meant you had no ambition. They thought your discipline was boring. Some even said you were wasting your time chasing things they couldn't see. And some of those voices came from your own family. They laughed when you said no to shortcuts. They judged when you didn't follow the crowd. They whispered about your choices behind your back, calling you cold, too serious, too focused on things that didn't make sense to them. But what they didn't know is that heaven had already approved you. You weren't walking without direction. You were walking with purpose. While others looked for applause, you were being prepared in silence. While they were comfortable in the moment, you were building something that would last for generations. You didn't need attention. You didn't need praise. You needed time. And now, that time has come. The very people who thought you were too slow will soon realize you were just ahead in a different way. Because the wealth transfer that's about to hit your life is not just going to lift you, it's going to reveal something much deeper. It's going to reveal that you were right to wait, right to stay grounded, right to ignore the noise and keep building. This is the season where what you've been carrying in secret becomes visible. The same family that doubted you will now see doors opening that they never imagined someone like you could walk through. They'll see resources flow into your life that they thought only belonged to the rich, the connected, the lucky. But this isn't luck. It's alignment. It's justice. It's divine order. Capricorn, you've spent years being underestimated, and that's exactly why this blessing will hit different. It won't just surprise the world, it will shock the ones closest to you. Because when heaven funds your next move, it doesn't ask for permission. It simply moves. And when it moves, no one can stop it. No voice can block it. No opinion can change it. They didn't see it coming. They didn't expect you to rise. But that was part of the plan all along. You are the unexpected breakthrough in your family line. And this transfer, they will remember it forever. The hidden account in heaven. Capricorn, there is something you need to understand about your journey. While the world judged your progress by what they could see, heaven was measuring your heart. Every decision you made out of love, discipline, and sacrifice, it wasn't wasted. It was stored. It was counted. It was recorded. There is an account in the spiritual realm with your name on it. It's not like a bank account that runs low. It's an eternal vault that grows with every unseen act of obedience. You didn't know it, but every time you gave something to someone else while you were in need yourself, that vault increased. Every time you helped someone who never thanked you, your balance grew. Every time you chose peace instead of revenge, every time you prayed instead of complaining, every time you showed up with strength, even though you were tired, something was deposited. You didn't do it for recognition. You didn't do it for reward. You did it because your spirit knew the value of honor, faith, and patience. But heaven didn't miss any of it. And now the vault is being opened, not because you begged, not because you forced it, but because you're finally ready to hold what's inside. You've matured, Capricorn. You've become someone who can carry heavy blessings without being crushed by them. You've grown into someone who can be trusted with favor, power, and influence, and still remain humble. This is not a gift given at random. This is not luck or chance. This is divine repayment for the seeds you've planted, seeds watered with tears, faith, and hope. You see, spiritual wealth doesn't show up right away. It doesn't flash like gold. It builds quietly in the background while you keep showing up, doing the right thing, walking with character when no one's clapping. And now the spiritual is becoming physical. Heaven is releasing what has always been yours, but what had to wait until you were fully prepared. This wealth transfer will not just benefit you. It will touch every part of your life, your family, your environment, your future. It will stretch across time. It will create ripple effects that last for years to come. Because when something is funded by heaven, it doesn't arrive empty. It arrives full of purpose, full of direction, full of transformation. Capricorn, this transfer has been building your entire life. Every unseen choice you made was not ignored, it was invested. And now you're about to withdraw a blessing bigger than you expected. Not because you chased it, but because heaven stored it. The night your destiny turned. Capricorn, there was a night, a quiet night, a forgotten night, a night no one else remembers, but heaven does. It wasn't dramatic. No one else noticed it. You didn't post about it. You didn't even tell anyone. But something shifted. Maybe it was the night you sat alone in your room, staring at the ceiling with tears in your eyes, whispering words you didn't even have the strength to say out loud. Maybe it was the day everything fell apart, and even though your heart was broken, you still bowed your head and prayed, "God, help me hold on." Or maybe it was that silent moment when you wanted to give up completely, but something inside you said, "Not yet." That moment was the turning point. Heaven marked it. Not because you were perfect, not because you had it all together, but because you were honest, because you showed up with your pain, because you didn't run away from the struggle. You faced it. That's the night your wealth transfer began. Not in a way that made the world notice. There were no lights, no voices from the sky, no sudden answers. It wasn't loud. It was sacred, quiet, divine. The shift didn't look like a breakthrough, but it was. Capricorn, that moment of surrender, that moment of desperation was the exact moment heaven said, now they're ready to be rebuilt, now they're ready for more. From that moment forward, the process began. Slowly at first, quietly, piece by piece, things began to move. You didn't see it right away. It didn't show up in your bank account. It didn't show up in the people around you. But in the unseen world, something powerful was happening. Heaven had chosen you as the carrier of something rare, something that would restore not just your life, but your legacy. It's like a seed planted in deep soil. For a while, it looks like nothing is happening, but underneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is forming, and then one day it breaks through the ground, fast, strong, undeniable. That's what's happening now. The tables are turning, quietly, then quickly, silently, then suddenly, in the background, then in public. Capricorn, the world may not know what happened on that night, but heaven does. Heaven remembers every tear, every prayer, every breath you used to stay alive when you were drowning in pressure. And now the reward that was set in motion that night is finding its way back to you. This transfer didn't begin in money. It began in your surrender. And that's what made it unstoppable. This isn't just wealth. It's a shift in bloodline. Capricorn, this is not just about receiving money. This is not just about finally having enough to pay your bills or buy what you need. What's happening in your life right now is much bigger. This is a complete shift in your family line. You are standing in a space your ancestors could only dream about. You are stepping into blessings they prayed for but never got to see. The sacrifices they made, the pain they endured, the battles they lost, those things didn't disappear. They were seeds. And now through you, the harvest is beginning. You are the bridge between the past and the future. You are the one who decided the struggle had to end with you. The pain would not pass forward. The lack would not continue. The patterns would be broken. This wealth transfer is not just money, it is freedom. It is ownership. It is legacy. It is the key that opens doors your family never thought they would walk through. Think about it. Land they never thought they could own. A business that runs in your family name. A home that belongs to you. A life where survival is no longer the goal, because purpose is now the focus. This is about giving your children a starting point that is far beyond where you began. This is about leaving behind blueprints instead of brokenness. Capricorn, you've been chosen for something heavy but holy. You're being called to carry responsibility, not just reward, because what you're building will outlive you. The choices you're making today are creating safety for people who haven't even been born yet. And yes, some people will be shocked. Your family may not understand how or why this is happening through you. Some might whisper, some might even question it. But that's okay, because you don't look like what's coming. You don't match their image of someone wealthy. You don't fit their idea of power. But that's the beauty of divine planning. God always hides his greatest treasures in the most unexpected places. He chose someone quiet, someone consistent, someone who didn't seek applause but sought alignment. That someone is you. You are not just being blessed, you are being trusted. And the shift in your bloodline will begin the moment you stop thinking this is only about you. This is the beginning of generational healing, the end of generational curses, the rise of generational strategy. And you, Capricorn, are the one who was chosen to carry the torch. The messenger that's coming with keys. Capricorn, someone is on their way into your life. They are not just a helper. They are not a friend from the past or a family member returning with good intentions. This person is different. They are a messenger, a carrier of divine timing. You may not recognize them at first. They may not look like what you expected. They may not come dressed in wealth. They may not come speaking spiritual words, but their presence will shift something inside of you. Their words will spark clarity. Their connection will unlock a door. And that door will lead to everything heaven has prepared for you. This person will come with something specific, a conversation that confirms your spirit, a business idea that aligns with your calling, a partnership that feels peaceful, an opportunity that doesn't look forced. It will not feel like pressure. It will feel like clarity. Capricorn, this person is not random. They are not a coincidence. They have been sent, assigned, positioned. Their steps are guided just like yours, and they are carrying something you need. They are holding a key, and that key is not for a physical door. It's for a divine door, one that leads to favor, abundance, elevation, and yes, the very wealth transfer we've been speaking about. But here's what you must know. It won't come with struggle. You've already had the storm. You've already walked through hard seasons. This next part will feel too simple. And that might confuse you. You might question it. You might wonder, is this real? Why does this feel so peaceful? Why is this door opening without a fight? But understand this, Capricorn, when heaven opens a door, you don't need to knock. You only need to walk through it. Ease is not a mistake. It's not a trap. It's alignment. You are finally walking in the right timing, with the right connection, on the right path. Do not let fear make you push it away. Don't let overthinking delay your moment. Don't compare this open door to the closed ones behind you. This is not then. This is now. God has already paid the price. Heaven has already cleared the way. The messenger is simply showing up to guide you into it. And when they come, you will know. You will feel it in your spirit. You will feel calm, not rushed, peace, not pressure. You will feel like something old has ended and something new has begun. Capricorn, get ready. This messenger is close. They carry what is already yours, and their arrival will mark the moment that everything begins to flow. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to earn it. You only need to be ready to receive. Because when heaven sends someone with keys, it means the door is already unlocked. Why this had to be public? Capricorn, you've been silent for a long time. You carried weight that others didn't see. You cried in rooms where no one checked on you. You faced seasons that almost broke you, but you didn't break. You stayed standing, quietly, privately, faithfully. While others lived loudly, you lived with discipline. While they celebrated temporary wins, you stayed focused on something lasting. You kept building, you kept praying. You kept walking, even when no one clapped for you. And because your struggle was private, your reward must be public. This is not just about showing others what you've gained. This is about showing them who carried you through the storm. Heaven does not waste pain. God does not forget quiet sacrifice. The same people who whispered about your delays, who made jokes about your slow growth, who overlooked you and spoke like your life was going nowhere. Those same mouths will now go silent when they see what's about to unfold. They will see the shift. They'll see the house you move into and wonder how. They'll see the way you walk in peace and wonder why. They'll see the life you've built, the doors that open, the blessings that surround you, and they won't be able to explain it. Because it won't look like hustle. It won't look like luck. It won't even look like strategy. It will look divine. And that's the point. Capricorn, this isn't about revenge. This isn't about proving anyone wrong. This is about giving glory where it belongs. It's about showing what happens when someone stays faithful in the dark. When someone keeps trusting even when nothing makes sense. When someone chooses growth over gossip, patience over pride, and purpose over popularity. God wants them to see it. He wants them to witness the transformation. Not for your ego, but for their awakening. Because your life will become a testimony. Your story will shake others awake. Your journey will speak to those who once thought they were forgotten. And some of those people will come back with new eyes. They'll apologize. They'll admire. Some will even ask, "How did you do it?" And you will answer honestly, "I didn't. God did." That's what makes this public. Not for attention, but for alignment. Not to boast, but to bless. Not to shame others, but to show them that delay is not denial, and silence is not weakness. You stayed low, and now God is lifting you high. You kept your head down, and now all eyes are being lifted toward you. You obeyed in private, and now you'll be honored in public. Because what God does in you, He wants others to see. So don't hide the blessing. Don't shrink back when it arrives. Walk in it boldly. Speak of it with gratitude. Shine, not to blind others, but to light the way. Capricorn, this blessing had to be public. Because your pain was real, your process was long, and your faith was loud, even when your life was quiet. Now let them watch. How to protect this transfer. Capricorn, this blessing that's coming into your life is not just something to enjoy, it's something to protect. Heaven is handing you something valuable, something rare, something many people will admire, but not everyone will understand. And that means you have to be wise. Not everyone can know what's happening in your life. Not everyone should have access to your process. Some people don't need to hear your plans. Some people don't need to see your steps. Why? Because not everyone is happy for you. Not everyone is pure in heart. Not everyone celebrates quietly behind your back. Some will smile to your face and speak doubt behind closed doors. Some will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. and others won't even know why they feel strange around you. It's the spirit of jealousy, and it moves quietly. That's why silence is your shield. You don't need to announce every breakthrough. You don't need to share every opportunity. You don't need to post every detail. Some things are too sacred for public eyes. Some moves must stay hidden until they're fully grown. Capricorn, this is not the time to be loud. This is the time to be strategic. This is not the season to explain yourself. This is the season to walk in purpose. Let your success speak when it's ready. Let your elevation be seen, not discussed, not defended. You've been chosen for something important. And when something is chosen, it must be protected. That means protecting your peace, protecting your time, protecting your energy, and yes, protecting your wealth. This blessing is not just a gift, it's an assignment. You were picked not only to receive it, but to handle it correctly. This transfer is not just about lifting you up, it's about you lifting others in the right way, at the right time. And you can't do that if you're surrounded by voices that drain your focus or cloud your vision. Use wisdom, not fear, wisdom. Ask yourself, does this person have the capacity to grow with me? Can they protect what I share, or will they expose it? Do they see my blessing as a miracle or as a competition? Your answers will guide you. Favor walks quietly, but jealousy often enters through open doors. Close the ones that need to stay shut. Leave some rooms. Distance yourself if necessary, not because you're better than others, but because the oil on your life now requires protection. Capricorn, you are stepping into a season that not everyone will understand, and that's okay. You're not called to explain it. You're called to steward it. Move with intention. Speak less, listen more. Protect what God is trusting you with, because this is just the beginning. And how you handle this blessing will shape what comes next. Your name is being written in new rooms. Capricorn, even right now, without your knowledge, your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. People you've never met are discussing ideas, plans, and opportunities, and somehow your name is showing up in those conversations. These are not ordinary rooms. These are rooms of influence, rooms of decision-making, rooms where power and purpose meet, rooms that open doors for people to rise. And what's incredible is that these rooms are being prepared for you. Capricorn, this is not because you asked for attention. It's not because you pushed your way into the spotlight. It's not because of who you know or how loud you've been. It's because of who you became when no one was watching. While others were chasing fame, you were building faith. While others gave up halfway, you stayed consistent. While others took shortcuts, you chose the long path, the right one. And heaven noticed that obedience, that quiet strength, that private discipline has placed your name in spaces your family never dreamed someone like you could enter. This is not status, this is alignment. You're being invited into circles where legacy is created, into partnerships where wealth flows with wisdom, into environments where your presence will not just be accepted, it will be needed. But here's the deeper truth. These rooms were always meant for you. The struggle, the rejection, the setbacks, they were all training for this level. You had to become the kind of person who could stand in these spaces without losing yourself. And now, you're ready. When you walk into these new places, you'll understand something powerful. You were never behind. You were being prepared. You were never overlooked. You were being refined. You were never rejected. You were being redirected. Capricorn, some of the rooms you're about to enter hold the answers to prayers you thought had been ignored. But nothing was ignored. Everything was being positioned for this moment. The table is set, the doors are opening, and your name is already written on the seat. Not by man, but by God. You don't need to beg, you don't need to force your way in. Just keep walking with purpose. Keep showing up with excellence. Keep trusting the process that brought you here. Because what you're about to step into was built with your name in mind. And when you finally arrive, you'll realize this wasn't luck. This wasn't random. This was divine. This is the season of recognition. Capricorn, this is your time. This is the season where heaven begins to recognize openly what earth chose to ignore for years. You've been overlooked, not because you lacked talent, not because you didn't try, but because people couldn't see what was on you. You didn't fit their picture of success. You didn't move like everyone else. You weren't loud about your journey, and for many people that made you invisible. But heaven never missed a moment. You've been walking with quiet power. You've been growing in the shadows. You've been healing when no one was clapping, and working when no one was watching. You stayed humble when you had every reason to be bitter. You stayed faithful, even when you had every reason to give up. And now, the silence is breaking. This is your recognition season. The light that's been on you the whole time is about to shine so bright that even those who once ignored you won't be able to look away. The value you've always carried, the purpose you've always felt, is about to become visible. Not just to strangers, but to your family. To the people who thought they knew your limits. To the ones who didn't see this version of you coming. Capricorn, they never expected this to happen through you. Not because they hated you. Not because they wished you harm, but because they were used to seeing you in struggle. They were used to the version of you that was still becoming. But God saw the finished version the whole time. He saw you rising while others saw you stuck. He saw you maturing while others saw you failing. He saw you ready when others thought you were lost. Now heaven is making it public. Now favor is finding your name. Now your reward is arriving. And it won't come quietly. This blessing will speak loud. It will carry weight. It will shift atmospheres. And most of all, it will shock people. Not because it's flashy, but because it's real. Unshakable. Divine. Capricorn, you've stepped into a season where your voice will be heard, your work will be valued, your presence will be honored. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to hide. This is the time to walk tall, not with pride, but with purpose. You are no longer waiting to be seen. You are being called forward. God is recognizing what others didn't. He is honoring what others dismissed. He is blessing what others questioned. Because while they were busy looking for the obvious, God was building something sacred in you. Now, it's time for the world to see it too. Your wealth transfer begins now. Capricorn, you've come to the end of this message, but you're standing at the beginning of a brand new season. This is not just another moment. This is your turning point. This is the moment where everything changes, not by force, not by luck, but by divine alignment. The transfer has already begun, quietly, powerfully, with your name written on it. It may not make sense at first. You may look at your surroundings and still see pieces that don't match the promise. You may still feel the weight of things unfinished. You may even question if it's really your time. But the truth is, heaven has already said yes. The approval has been stamped. The release has been made, and now what was once stored in silence is being poured into your life in full. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to explain yourself. You won't have to prove your worth to anyone. The same family who once whispered, "What are they doing with their life?" will now come asking, "How did you do it?" The same doors that once stayed shut will now swing open without warning. The same people who didn't take you seriously will now look at you with new eyes. Because when something is heaven-funded, no one can block it. When something is written in divine timing, no one can rush it. And when something is meant for you, no one can take it. Capricorn, stay grounded. Don't lose yourself in the blessing. Stay alert. Don't miss the signs around you. Stay aligned. Don't let distractions pull you away from the path that brought you here. You don't need to chase validation. You don't need to defend your success. You don't need to explain the transformation that's about to unfold. Because what's coming next will speak for itself. And if you felt something stir in your spirit during this message, if deep down you know this was for you, don't hold it in. Go to the comments and type, "I receive heaven's transfer." Say it not just with your hands, but with your heart. Let it be your declaration. Let it be your agreement. Let it be the seal over what's already moving toward you. And if you haven't already, stay close to this channel. This space was created for moments like this. This is where divine timing meets divine truth. This is where your spirit comes to be reminded that you are chosen, covered, and aligned with something greater than yourself. Capricorn, your wealth transfer begins now, not tomorrow, not next month, now. Walk in it, breathe it in, prepare to carry it well, because the shift you've been waiting for is already on the way.